Did you know the Kremlin in Moscow was once white? The Kremlin we see today, its walls and towers, were built in the late 15th century by the Italians, and they were originally brick red colour and not whitewashed. This painting is one of the first depictions of the Kremlin, and you can clearly see it is in a reddish pigment. This was painted in the year 1668. The first written source mentioning the whitewashing of the Kremlin is from a book called The Moscow Kremlin in the Past and Present in the year 1680 by the historian Bartonev, who writes, "In the official note promulgated on July 7, 1680, in the name of the Tsar, he says that the Kremlin fortifications were not whitewashed, while the Spasskaya Gate was painted white and carmine red. In the announcement, one wonders, are the walls of the Kremlin to be painted, to be left as they are, or to be painted like the Spasskaya? The Tsar ordered the Kremlin to be whitewashed with lime." From this, we could gather that it's not far after the year 1680 that we see the whitewashing of the Kremlin, its main fortress. The Frenchman Francois Ancelot described the Kremlin after the war and the fire in his memoirs in the year 1826. It writes, "This is where we leave the Kremlin, my dear Xavier, but, looking again at this ancient citadel, we will regret that, while repairing the destruction caused by the explosion, the builders removed from the walls the age-old patina that gave them so much grandeur. The white paint that hides the cracks gives the Kremlin an air of youth that does not match its shape and erases its past." This is the very first known painted daguerreotype of the Kremlin from the year 1842. From then on, the Kremlin was getting a fresh coat of white paint only in anticipation of some grand events, and looked quite normal with stains and chipped paint in between. Later, the Russian Revolution took place, and Moscow was taken over by the Bolsheviks, who settled in the Kremlin. Obviously, the Red Kremlin both sounded and looked true to the ideology of the Bolsheviks, thus painting the Kremlin white, one of the most beautiful traditions, was lost. Thank you for watching. Spasibo za prosmot. Make sure you have liked the video, subscribed if you're new, and share if you enjoyed.